So welcome back, everyone. My name is Echo, and around 1 year ago, we reviewed the furniture add-on created by XP Games. Now, that video is fast approaching 400,000 views. And even to this day, no other furniture-related add-on released on the Minecraft marketplace even comes close. Like, I always take the time to read your comments, and even 1 year on, all of the latest comments are talking about how incredible this add-on actually is. So I've got some great news for you, because the creators, XP Games, gave me early access to the 2.0 version. Now, this add-on was updated multiple times since we last checked it out. So we're going to be doing a full recap of version 1.1, 1.2. It didn't have a 1.3. We're going to check out 1.4 and the 2.0 version. This add-on is so much better compared to when we checked it out the first time. So this add-on easily makes it into my top 10, if not my top 5 all-time Minecraft marketplace add-ons. The community gave this a solid 4.7 star rating out of 5 with over 14,000 ratings. Now, yes, it is quite pricey at 1,340 Minecoins, but this is one of very few add-ons that is actually worth the price tag. So because a lot of things have changed in this add-on since we last checked it out, I'll place some timestamps on today's video to make things easier for you. Once you do have this installed or recently updated in a newer pre-existing world, you are going to be given a guidebook. This can be placed in a lectern. Now, to make sure you're on the latest version, it will then say the 2.0 updates as a page option. It says, "Welcome to Furniture, made by XP Games. This add-on brings tons of new furniture, blocks, and features to your very own world that you can explore and interact with. Enjoy your creative journey." Yes, these are blocks and not entities. Like 98% of this is going to be blocks. There is a few entities that are available just because of functionality. So a quick recap. On the introduction, it explains how you can obtain the furniture. You can use the crafting table recipe book to view the available furniture you can craft in survival mode, or by getting them in the creative inventory. So if you just open a regular crafting table, you will start to see all of the available furniture. They're pretty easy to make. Being honest with you, I am a strong believer of a separate crafting table for the modded aspect, because honestly, you're going to be scrolling forever. But if you just wanted to search for something like a table, it's just going to teach you how to make them. I'm not going to show you guys how to craft these things in today's video. We did go over that in the previous one. We also have a furniture merchant. A new merchant has set foot in your world. Make sure not to miss his trade offers for furniture, crops, and plants when he visits you. On the next page, it teaches us about the 2.0 updates, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, we're not going to get there for quite some time. Let's start with the previous changelogs. Starting with the 1.1 changelog features. This was introduced quite some time ago, so if you know about these changes, feel free to skip ahead. Hammocks now allow the player to skip nighttime. So we'll set this to nighttime, grab ourselves whatever color of hammock we desire. I like red. I'm going to plant this down here. I love the connection sounds. If we get in this, as you can see, we are able to skip through nighttime. It's automatically going to be day. Although, I'm not quite sure why it's put me into this swimming motion. Now, sleeping in beds in general, not only in this version, but also the latest 2.0, has been improved. Now, it says sleeping in furniture beds now prevents phantom spawnings. So, we're going to go ahead and just sleep in a bed here. We just need to find the right spots. As you can see, the way we sleep is so much better. You're actually laying down for a start, but if phantoms were spawning and you tried to sleep in these, they wouldn't go away the way they would with a regular bed. That's now been fixed. And just to put into perspective as to how many different beds this has, yeah, there's so many different options. So this one's a pretty cool change. Placeable clocks and compasses can now be hung up on walls. So if you make yourself the placeable versions, you can place them on walls. You can also place them on any block that you actually desire. So I kind of really like that change. It's just, again, for visual preference. When I first checked this out, it was not possible. But now, sinks can now be filled up with water buckets. So I've seen a bunch of comments saying, yes, it does work. Yeah, the video I did was very, very old. So as you can see here, you are now able to fill up these sinks, and you can go ahead and take out the water if you wanted to. Furniture blocks and props now render on maps. So everything I've been placing, you can kind of see it in the corner right here. Previously, it was just invisible. This one's pretty cool. Polaroids can now be put inside placed picture frames by interacting with them. So you can take a picture with this. Now, obviously, it doesn't take a proper picture, so you guys are aware. This is going to pop off. We're going to do it one more time. I think there's like 10 different options when it comes to the pictures, and they're going to be different every single time. If we tap on a frame, oh, it's meant to replace it. That one looked like it actually consumed it. Hold on, that might well actually be a bug here. I did discover a few bugs in this latest version, but what's meant to happen is the picture is meant to replace the frame. Let's see if we can get this to work this time. Try it. No, it's not doing it. When I did this in creative, it actually worked. We'll try this one more time. We could have discovered a bug here. It should pop off. Yeah, see what I mean? Now it works, but in survival, it wasn't actually working. Strange bug. Added a ticking sound for the grandfather clock. So there's a couple of different options in this. The regular one, the fancy one, the smaller one, and the fancy smaller one. So if we place this down, they now have a ticking sound. I remember I made a mistake in the first one that we did. If I did /time set and noon, the cuckoo clock starts to pop out for time set day. I usually keep it at noon because it's brightest. Yeah, so obviously it's gonna make the sound when it does get to noon, which is actually a really good indication as to when it's midday. So I kind of like that. It's now got a ticking sound. Added sounds for the furniture merchant. So you can discover these. There is also going to be a couple of different options later on with this, but if you just tap on him, something else also introduces the ability to buy the guidebook. You can also buy a bunch more things from this merchant. So if I wanted to purchase some things, open up this. Let's say I wanted to get the cactus. Oh, I can hear him talking as well. A bed. That's bugged. A puffer fish. I like his sound. So these are pure and simply decoration things, right? A large proportion of this add-on is decoration, but so much of it is interactable. And apparently at nighttime, he should disappear and go invisible. If I do /time set, I just do regular nighttime? He doesn't seem to go invisible. He's meant to work the same way as a wandering trader. I wonder if it's just because I have the daylight cycle system off. As for the rest of the changes in the 1.1 version, it says here, majority of blocks and props are no longer a one-hit break, but use a regular break timer instead. So, for example, that's the reason why I have pickaxes and stuff here. Let's try and find some of these. We'll use these as an example. So, no longer can you instantly break these. You have to use, like, the correct tools. You can still break it with your hands, although efficiency doesn't seem to be applied with this. Hopefully something in future updates. It also explains a couple more changes. Adjusted the panorama to not include the bread basket, which didn't make it into the final add-on. Water wheels now spin when placed higher up. Here's a prime example. Another example is that, you know, these so-called stones / pebbles, you can now place these in different directions. They're not always going to be facing the exact same way. Besides that, we do have a couple more changes and adjustments that were made in the 1.1 version. Let's move on to the 1.2 changelog and updates. In this version, they added 3 new plushies that can be interacted with. Now, later on, we do have a couple more plushies that did get introduced, but in this version, they did introduce the axolotl one. There's the breaking animation there, for example. So hitting it once doesn't break it, twice doesn't, 3 doesn't. On the 4th one, it does. You tap on these, they do have custom sounds. This one, I'm not convinced. It looks pretty cool, though. It says here, added 3 roofs, including the entire connection system. So I think it's these ones. It definitely said something about moss, which does come in different designs, by the way. So that's one design. You also have a plane, which I believe you can mix and match, which is awesome to see. Copper. And you can see here, no Z fighting, so the connections seem to be pretty cool. And Blackstone. There's also been a couple more changes to how roofs work a little bit later on. It says, added 4 new food items crafted and cooked out of our custom crops. And then says salads and chili pepper both grant the player useful effects. So we now have the introduction of pepper, salad, grilled corn, and the eggplant. Again, we'll get into this a little bit later on. You can go ahead and consume these. So we have nausea, regen, and fire res. Grilled corn can also be consumed. So can the eggplant. Now, what they also did with these is also made them as placeable items. So you can make these into placeable options as well. Hopefully I'm grabbing the correct stuff here. So yeah, basically all food in this, new or pre-existing or vanilla, can actually be turned into placeable blocks, which again is really good for cosmetic reasons. This one was also pretty cool. Added functionality to the juice barrel, allowing you to create juice out of various fruits and vegetables and fill our wooden mugs for a fresh mug of juice. So if you have these big barrels and tap on this, you'll see here it starts to drip out, right? Now they have obviously a certain amount that you're able to put inside of this. That's 4 right now. Go ahead and put this inside of here. Should go to 48 as well, I think. Yeah, so a limited amount can go in these. You can use their custom foods as well. But once this is full, grab yourself some of the mugs. So 1, 2, and 3. Head over to it and tap on it. You get yourself a juice. Now, I think this was a new feature introduced later on, but when you eat it, this seriously reminded me of actions and stuff. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, again, everything in this is so awesome because it can be interacted with. You can also place down the juices or the empty mugs if you wanted to. This one is slightly bugged, but I did tell the developers probably be fixed by the time you check this out. Added functionality to cauldrons, allowing the player to brew potions in new interactive ways. So we do have a couple of different cauldrons here. There's a slight bug here though. Watch this. When I fill this one up, it fills up the other one. So why is that not working? I might need to do this in creative. Hold on. Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Let's try this. It's not working now. Yeah, see, these are really weird. I'm going to break these and try and place down some new ones here. These are bugged out so many times for me. I'll try it again. Yeah, so when you fill this one up, it fills that one over there. You're meant to be able to put potions inside, like warts. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Basically, you can brew potions with this in a really cool way. I've tried to get it to work. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Okay, so I managed to get it to work. Wart goes in. Then magma goes in. Then redstone goes in. And as you guys are probably aware of what we've just made here, if we tap on this, we end up with fire res potions, which is really cool. Just the version I was checking this out in was slightly bugged. You will have the power to do it in all of these when they fix this issue in your version. So a couple of changes with beds, like I did mention. In this version, they overhauled the bed functionality, bringing it even closer to regular beds. Ability to sleep through thunderstorms, actually sleeping inside of the bed instead of sitting. So nighttime, we're going to set this as thunder and lightning. As you guys did see, if you are sleeping, you actually have a sleeping animation. This was just a pretty cool change that they did introduce, but you can now sleep through the thunderstorms, which previously, prior to 1.2, you couldn't. Added full leaf variations for orange acacia, yellow birch, dogwood, and willow. So we now have different types of leaves representing each type of tree / variant. It also says added a new drinking animation to the mug, which I've already showed you. We now move on to the 1.4 changelog. Now, this was known as the Christmas update, which I slightly broke. So anyway, basically added Christmas-related things in traders, which I can't access, but will show you how to in a bit, because again, this is related to the latest changes. If you place down a Christmas tree, you can decorate it in emeralds, diamonds, redstone, and even candles. Unfortunately, though, you're not able to add colored candles, from my understanding. And when I broke this, it kind of bugged out last time. Yeah. All of this stuff will be fixed in a hotfix version. You shouldn't encounter this. They also added 4 new plushies. In this version, they added the skeleton, the spider, polar bear, and 2 variations of the snow golem. They also added icicles with full connecting properties. So it kind of works like the spikes that Minecraft already has. The stalactites, is it? Anyway, these can just be connected this way, and you can make them as big or as small as you like, pure and simply for decoration purposes. We did get 5 variation of Christmas socks. So we do have the snow golem, we have the Santa, we have the what was this one? Antler, which is Nutcracker, sorry, and also the elf, pure and simply decoration. They also added mistletoe item as well. So mistletoe can be placed on the side. It's a little bit of a pain to deal with this sometimes, but it's meant to kind of stick onto the side. I think you have to like stand on the side and do it that way. Yeah, so you can break, I believe, one of these and then have a smaller version. But yeah, mistletoe was also added in the Christmas updates along with hot cocoa. Can I eat or drink the hot cocoa? Yes, we can. They also added Christmas framed pictures. We have the snowman, the reindeer, and we also have the tree. All plushies will wear a cute Christmas hat for the duration of the Christmas event. The big chest and the slab chest will both be replaced with Christmas presents for the duration of the Christmas event. As of right now, these are not Christmas themed. That is because this can now be changed in 2.0. So in 2.0, these are all the latest changes. They added a settings block to toggle different functionalities like the furniture merchant spawning. Now this is made with a birch chair and some oak planks. Now this is going to give you a block that kind of looks like a command block in a way. When you place this and tap on it, enable fur merchants, enable butterflies and moths, skip nights with 1 player sleeping, and then you can change this to the Christmas updates, which I've done. These have now changed, and I believe the merchants should also, hold on, / summon. The merchants should now be Christmas themed. So that's why I couldn't really explain it or show it, because you didn't have that power until the 2.0 version. But if you turn this off in real time, I believe it should update in real time. Does it? No. Yes. Yes. Once you interact with them, it kind of changes back. There you go. It changes back. So that's the reason why I couldn't show you until we got to the 2.0 version. But this is new and also pretty cool. Added pale oak variants to all wooden furniture. Now, there is a lot more than this. If you just go ahead and open up this and type in pale, for example, it's going to show you all of the pale options. There is so many different options. So I imagine it did take them quite some time. But I will show you guys some of the available options that we have here. So we now have the small table, bigger table. We now have a chair, which, by the way, yes, you can sit in these. We do have the drawers, which can be interacted with, which I think might well be entities. We do have the decorative pale oak bookshelf. We have the fence, wall, gates, I think. Then we also have another bench. We also have a shelf. So I'll place the shelf over here, for example. There you go, and it connects. That's pretty cool. This one right here is going to be a unit, I think. Oh, no, it's wardrobes. Oh. Which, again, can be functioned with and tapped on and opened. It's so cool. What else do we get inside of here? Let's have a little look. A couple more custom blocks. So they have a bunch of their own custom blocks available inside of this. I really like the look of this. So it now represents the pale oak related items. There we go. This is the gates. This is the gate. But I think you can still jump over these. So not really great in that aspect. But yeah, so many different options now in the 2.0 version for pale. Added 6 new saplings and tree types for our custom leaves and vines obtainable through the furniture merchant. So there might be a way to trade with him and get those custom saplings. We do have flowers, so I think it might just be RNG. Let's summon another one here. So we didn't get one from him. So it must be kind of like a rare encounter. There you go. We've got one of them. But there's a bunch of different ones available. So we'll go ahead and grab all of these. And I'll grab some bone meal as well. Because this add-on also comes with custom trees as well. So bone meal these, I guess. There you go. That's the golden one. This is orange acacia, apparently. We do have the yellow birch option. Come on, there we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Wisteria is also going to be an option as well. So this one should be slightly bigger. It is. We also have willow. Let's go and place this down. I like this. That's what the Pale Garden was inspired by, apparently, according to the developers. So yeah, I think they absolutely nailed this. I like the fact that they've also got the pre-existing Minecraft woods as well, rather than introducing their own version. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this latest change. They also added 2 new instruments. Well, kind of 3 of them, but like 2 of them. So we have the piano, which you can press. Like, each and every single one is interactable. Come on. How cool is that? And then we also have the pan flutes. Honestly, so awesome. I think this add-on is so good. So good. They added new automatically connected roof tips for all tip situations. So I've gathered 2 different variations here. Obviously, we can connect these together, but as you start to connect these rounds, they start to automatically connect anyway. So if I did like this, hold on, that's not the right way. If we did it this way, they'll start to automatically connect to each other anyway. So yeah, the roofs, the tiles, the way they work is really awesome. Added all other existing foods in the game as placeable variants. Now, I don't actually know the full list of food that was previously in this verse in 2.0, but any food you can think of in this can be placed as an item. Now, one thing to be noted with this, you can actually undo it if you wanted to. So if you needed an emergency food, not a problem, but everything can be placed down if you wanted to. Cookies, uncooked rabbits, which feels very illegal, I'm going to be honest with you. We also have, obviously, the raw-related versions as well. So I really like those changes. We also have 3 functional statues. So one of them is going to be a skeleton. We have a wolf. We also have a frog. And if you tap on these with a water bucket, it will spout water like that. How cool is that? It doesn't actually consume your water bucket either. So yeah, I thought that was a nice addition. You can see here. Next, we have 5 new plushies. I'm going to be honest with you guys again. It didn't outline which ones are new versus old. So I just went ahead and gathered a whole bunch. I think the armadillo might be new, but honestly, I have no idea. So basically, they've added even more plushies in the latest version. This was one of my favorite things as well. Added a new cooking mechanic with the new cooking pan item usable with stoves. So when it comes to stoves, there is 1, 2, 3, and 4 different versions. We have a stone version, an iron, a copper, and a black stone. Now, in order for this to become functional, you are going to need coal. So if you go ahead and tap on this, you can tap on 1 at a time. You can't do any more than 1 at a time, which is a little bit of a pain, by the way. But this just works like a regular kind of stove. So we'll fill up a bunch of these, and I like that one. I like the color of it. We'll then get rid of all of this. You are going to need a pan. Place this on top of these. Then place your food inside, and it will begin to cook. How cool is that? And then after a certain period of time, you have to take it out. So we'll wait for this one to be done. A couple of seconds for each one, usually. Okay, so that one's been done. That one's been done. That one's... Oh, you can flip them. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That one seemed to take a little bit longer, but you can cook all of them. Now, the next feature says they added cooked corn and cooked eggplant. So I got really confused in how to get the cooked versions. I tried a furnace, I tried a smoker. It has to be done in these in order to get those versions. So the add-on works with the add-on stuff rather than the vanilla-related things. So if you tap on this, that's how it flips it. That's so cool. So you end up with the grilled corn option. You also end up with a grilled eggplant. Added unoxidized copper roof, new roof type. Now, I got confused with this because we only have the regular copper, which I'm guessing it might be that. and the oxidized version. They're the only copper-related roof tiles that we had. It says added new table lamp in all variations. So we now have all types of different lamp options, which, by the way, you can turn these off and on, and they do work like regular lamp options. So where's the pale options? The pale one's also going to be new as well. And then we get into added axolotls and tadpoles aquariums. So if we place this down with this, grab ourselves this one and this one, we now have ourselves the aquariums. Now, what happens if we break this? Hold on. Can I break this? Yeah. The only sad thing about that, though, is it consumes your axolotl. And I'm guessing it's going to be your tadpoles as well. So, yeah, you will lose your pets. Added 2 flowery ivory variants. So it's one type of flower, but it has, obviously, this one and this one. Which, that's different. Was not expecting that. That's like 3 options. Regular and then 2 colored variations. Added butterflies and moth in 6 variations. Sadly, no custom spawn egg with these, but we do have different butterflies and moths. You've probably seen them flying around. At the same time, they also introduced the net, so you can capture these as well, but you can release them if you wanted to. Added stone slabs and walls to our custom stone textures. So all of these now have different variations, as it does mention. Obviously, you do have the regular types as well, but obviously the decorative versions introduced. Oh yeah, and added all missing tools to the tool rack. So you can now add bow and fishing rods. As you can see, they're hanging, but also the trident and the mace. That previously didn't exist. They also added hanging willow leaves and hanging willow vines. So you just gotta go ahead and place these. Changes in 2.0. Let's read the changelog. So according to the changelog, these are all of the changes. Didn't want to put them on signs because there's so much. There has been tons of like updated functionality, like ropes are now climbable. Parasols can now be opened. They've also done some visual changes. A lot of these you won't notice unless you did mess around with this add-on massively. They've just done some quality of life changes, but I'm going to show you the important ones. So these have all had a visual improvement according to that changelog, being the likes of your benches, apparently your stools, apparently your standing lamps, also including the grow lamps as well. That can be turned on or off. So the visual abilities of them have been improved. They did change the biome blending of their custom blocks. So apparently these have also had a quality of life change. Being honest with you, these kind of remind me of texture packs. So the fact that they've added this and included this is huge, in my opinion. So we'll get rid of them. A couple more changes here. Some changes have been made to glass. So overgrown plains, savanna, dark, tiger, swamp. Apparently the glass visuals have changed as well. Some will be more subtle. Some will be a lot bigger. So ukulele, parasols, watering can, book pile, and pumpkin pie. So this one means you can now take one piece at a time. This one means you can now stack these up if you wanted to. You also have the ability to fill this up now and use this the way you wanted to. Parasols can open and close at player's discretion, which is pretty cool. Ukulele can now actually be played as well. According to the rest of the changes, I think it now requires a stack to fill this up. So if I was to just do a whole entire stack, we shouldn't be able to put any more inside of here from what I understand. So that's now full. We're taking one out at a time. So I did /give at P and we did carrots 3, for example. It's taking them out once we hit 64. So that's going to be the same for potatoes and apples. I'd love to see some more of these. The next one is going to be pipes have better connectivity from my understanding. I believe they have better connectivity. Last time it was a little bit, let's say, not great. I don't think they have the carved option, but that was also announced in the changelog. These being fountains, I think you could fill them up last time, but I think they've just had better visuals compared to last time. These mushrooms work very similar to the pebbles and can now be placed in various different directions if you wanted to. In terms of blinds and curtains, they now have better hitboxes, apparently. So to make things easier for people to use, which is, again, pretty cool to see. The eye blossoms can now go in the custom pots if you wanted to. And as for the rest of the changes and bug fixes, let's read that changelog. So in 2.0, these are all of the bugs that have been fixed. Again, I'm not going to put all of these on signs. A lot of them were to do with like visual issues, Z-fighting, and a couple of things that players did discover. I forgot to show you this. In this version, you can now climb ropes as well. Very similar to ladders and vines and stuff. Anyway, guys, even 1 year on, this is still by far the best furniture add-on. Nothing comes close. If you don't have it, I highly recommend. If you do have it, update to the 2.0 version. Have a wonderful day.